Welcome to another monthly reset where I walk you through my monthly goal setting process using a digital bullet journal and share some tips along the way to help you set and achieve your goals. In this video, I will show you how I set my monthly inspired goals, give some ideas on how you can structure your monthly goals as well, share some prompts for you to set your goals, and I will show you how I use my digital planner to give you some ideas as well. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Seppi and I share with you simple and practical tips to live a happier and more meaningful life. And one of the tools that I use every single day, every single week, every single month are my journals and planners. And I hope to inspire and help you to do the same because journaling is one of my favorite tools that I have used in the last almost decade to help me create a happier and better life for myself. The first step before planning or setting any goals is to set intentions, to have a clear vision on how you want the month to go. Ask yourself the following questions. How do I want to feel? Who do I want to be? What do I want to experience? What emotions do I want to feel on a daily basis? What do I want to focus my energy on? What do I want to focus my thoughts on? What kind of mindset do I want to have throughout the month? By asking yourself these more intentional and meaningful questions, this will help you project yourself into the future and how you want the month to go, which will be the foundation of the goals you will set, the habits you will choose to cultivate, and how you plan to organize your schedule. And this is the foundation of inspired goals because it comes from a more meaningful and thoughtful place by asking yourself deeper and more meaningful questions on which you can then base your goals on. A few tips when writing your intention. Number 1, write it in the present tense as if it has already happened. This will trick your subconscious mind into believing it has already happened, which will then make your mind guide your thoughts, actions, behavior, and choices towards creating that vision. Tip number 2 is to use strong, positive, descriptive words and verbs that feel aligned and compelling to you, so that when you read your intentions over again, it makes you feel excited to bring that vision to life. Once you have your vision for the month, I want you to think about the goals you want to achieve. What are some fun things you like to do? How do you want to take care of your mental and physical health? What are some life administrative tasks you need to take care of that you maybe have been procrastinating on, but if you got them done, they would benefit you? What are some things you like to do, feel, accomplish, see? Think about all the things you like to do this month in light of your vision. Thinking about your goals more globally to include fun goals and health goals and general life goals will make showing up for them a lot easier and a lot more enjoyable because you're focusing on experiencing life in a more joyful way. You are choosing to focus on everything in life that includes your health, fun things, building good memories. And here are a few tips when setting your monthly goals. Number 1, keep them simple and specific so that they are achievable within the month ahead. Tip number 2 is, if you need to, break them down into smaller steps. We'll talk a little bit more about that later on. And tip number 3, when you're setting your monthly goals, set small, meaningful goals that will bring you joy. Don't underestimate the power of small goals like making more time to read a book, going to a coffee shop, seeing your family, making time for your hobbies. These are the small goals in life that will make you feel happier. Now that you have your intentions, your monthly goals, it's time to think about the habits that will support that vision and bring it to life. So, based on your monthly goals, and if you have a tracker from the last month, I want you to ask yourself, what are some habits that you want to cultivate or keep cultivating? What are the things that make you feel better mentally, physically, emotionally? The small things that you can do every single day to feel better, to be your best self. Think about the daily habits that make you feel your best, the habits that you know you should be doing, and try to keep the habits simple and break them down into smaller steps so that you are clear on how you're showing up for yourself. Your habits tracker is a way to keep yourself accountable, but also to keep yourself motivated, because the more you see those check marks, you see that the days that you practiced a habit, the more likely you are to continue. And here are some tips when picking the habits you want to cultivate. Make them small and specific. That way it feels a lot less overwhelming when it comes time to actually practicing them. Tip number 2 is to break them down into smaller steps. So, for example, if you want to have a better morning routine, get specific on the steps and make sure to write it down so that you can easily refer back to it. And finally, and probably most importantly, don't be too hard on yourself. Self-compassion and patience works a lot better than being overly critical of yourself or expecting yourself to do everything perfectly every day. What matters is how you are choosing to show up for yourself every day. The next thing you're going to do when you're setting your monthly goals is to do a brain dump and then organize your to-do list. This part of the digital bullet journal is where you will have the space to write down any thoughts, ideas, lists, or anything that is cluttering your mind. You can do a brain dump when you're doing your monthly reset of things you might want to do in the month ahead, things for the following month, or you can enumerate some of your morning or evening routines, which is what I was doing in my bullet journal. Or you can use the brain dump page throughout the month if any idea comes up, or you want to remind yourself of something for the following month, like someone's birthday or something you have to do. Now let's get into the more practical component of goal setting, which is your to-do list. I want you to write a list of things you need to get done to achieve your goals. Whether they are related to your goals or your habits, I want you to break them down into smaller steps. For example, if your goal for this month is to take care of your health by perhaps starting therapy, then the steps might be to do research on the different therapists in your area. Maybe you want to do research on the type of therapy you might need. Then you maybe want to call a few different offices and get a quote per session to know how much it's going to cost. The next step would be contacting your insurance to inquire about your coverage. And finally, the last step is to schedule an appointment. This is what I mean when I say break it down into smaller steps, because when you keep it simple, you can then tackle each step and have a quick little win, and you don't have to tackle them all in one day, but you can refer back to this list when you are planning your week or your day. That way you can chip away at your list little by little. You can do one little task every single day, and by the end of the week, you've accomplished everything and you've scheduled your therapy session. The fun thing about digital planning is the flexibility of being able to add so many stickers, images, colors, and fonts. You can add different elements like symbols and icons and sticky notes. Even though I generally use a physical bullet journal, I enjoy playing around with my iPad and digital bullet journal because it feels like less pressure, because editing or changing elements is so much easier. If you want me to create more digital bullet journal spreads or share some digital planning videos, let me know in the comments below. That way I can create more videos for you. And if you're interested in using this pre-made digital journal that I'm using for the month of October, I will leave the link to my Etsy shop in the description box so that you can also see all the digital and printable journals and planners that I have created to help you create a happier and more meaningful life. And this brings us to the last step of the monthly reset, the monthly goal setting process that I follow every single month, which is to plan the month. So I look at my calendar and I add any appointments, birthdays, events, or reminders of things I need to do. This is your space to have a bigger picture of the month ahead, to help you stay organized with your tasks and goals, to be able to adjust what you are doing on a weekly and daily basis. When I sit down and do my weekly planning process, I always pull out my monthly calendar to get a sense of what's happening. That way I can adjust my to-do list, my habits, my workouts with the week ahead if I know that it's going to be busy or if I know that it's going to be a little more quiet. And those are the 6 steps you can follow to do a monthly reset and to set your goals for the month ahead. Let me know in the comments below, what is your biggest goal for the next month? What came up for you when I talked about your vision and your goals and your dream life? I want to hear from you. And of course, let me know if you have any questions about how to stay on track with your goals or your habits. And keep an eye out for a whole goals series that I will be creating to walk you through every step of the inspired goal setting process so that you can do a life audit, set inspired goals, create a vision board, and most importantly, how you can achieve those goals and create a happier life. Thank you so much for watching. I'm sending you a lot of love. Bye for now.